stories to tell. I've just met Charlotte. Charlotte is a whole set of encyclopedias in one small person. And I'm fascinated to meet her because I cannot wait until December the 13th to sit down with her. Maybe I'll have to chain her to a chair to hear her stories. And so what I'm trying to say is everybody has so much to offer. And sometimes out of fear, we build walls. Out of fear of what, I wonder? We have so much to learn from one another. And so my personal mission, I believe, is being a bridge, explaining one person to the other. And I started doing that when I was very little. I never thought of that when I was little. And then as the years went by and I became a mediator together with CJ, I thought, I told a friend back in Argentina, and he said to me, but you've been doing that all your life. Why training, he said. And so when I have a room full of people who have issues, what I notice is that when I build a circle and they find the opportunity to be listened to be heard, and to tell their story, the air changes, the heart changes, the mind changes, and it's beautiful. I bought myself, well, I didn't even buy myself, I was given this huge metal, very old key. I was looking, because this conflict had been going on for several years, where I was going to be a mediator, then I thought, I need a key, because they need to visualize. And it was a kinetic thing. They needed to see and touch that they were the owners of the key, that they could resolve this conflict themselves, that each one of them, as they were passing the key, could bring some solution, could contribute to the final agreements in the conflict. And what happened was, and that's why I'm saying there's someone bigger than we are watching us, helping us along, helping us to get along. And it's on us whether we want to be a bridge or not. So I thought, where am I going to find this huge key? And I thought, if the force, the light, wants me to find this key between now and Wednesday, it was like a Friday, I will find it. And so I went to a thrift store, and I looked around, and I didn't see a thing. So I went to the desk, to the cashier, and I said, I'm looking for this. And she said, oh, yeah, I didn't know what to do with this. We've had this for 2 full days, and I didn't know who would buy it, who would want anything like this. And there was my key. So, you see, I was led time after time after time, even in times of crisis, when I thought, and now what? What do I do with myself? What do I do with my life? Where will the next check come from? And I was led. And as I look back, I worked in international programs, on a diversity commission, all these things. And it wasn't planned by me. It wasn't. I just happened to be there. And I was led. And so I am a bridge. We are all bridges. The more we come out of our safety, our comfort zone, where we are getting fossils, we are becoming fossils. If we are willing to come out and join people in our neighborhood, in our community, we are the world. We are the children. And are we willing to come out of our little corner and just meet people who are different, different in any way, to really listen to their story, to be transformed by their story, to share our story or our stories? We would be better people. How open are we to all that? How open are we to come and meet the differences And sometimes it's a potluck in some neighborhood or a community event of sorts. Maybe not here in Levittown. It may be in Trenton. It may be in Warminster. Are we looking for those opportunities to mingle with people who are very different? And I know that your congregation has some initiatives. Rich told me a little bit about one. And would you share, Rich, what that's about? Mm-hmm. Well, thank you. And one element that I would like to bring to my Cultures and Conflict class is a volunteering opportunity for my students because they are going to be peacemakers here and internationally, and they need to be exposed to those differences. And so that's still in the thinking process. But I'd like to do that because exposure is essential. And so a while back, I read a book by Gladwell, Malcolm Gladwell, is it? And where he said that without a networker, without a bridge, I would say, like Paul Revere, we wouldn't be the country we are. Because he was a networker, he was a bridge, he was in so many different groups, doing so many different things that he was the one telling everybody what was going on. Without him, we wouldn't be America. We wouldn't be the US, a free and independent country. So my invitation to you is to go and look for differences, welcome differences, and I know that's the spirit of your congregation. And so I really feel humbled to share with you my message, and I will tell you something, and I hope I don't offend Janet and Rich, but my presentation here today comes as a result of some bridging too, and some trading, because Rich and Janet are the second family to my dog. And so, and I'll tell you this story. They have taken care of our dog Riley several times. And so every time they did that, I would bake an apple pie. And so I thought, well, when their kids were younger, we would pay them to dog sit for us. But now they're big and they don't want to do that anymore anyway when they're home. So one day I was going for my walk and I met Janet and I said, well, you know, we feel a little embarrassed asking you again to watch over our dog. And so Janet said, well, I've had an idea. And Janet said, how about our church, Rich's church wants to have more diversity. How about some diversity training? And I said, that's a great idea. And then I spoke with Libby and she said, well, the schedule for this year is full. So how about if you come and speak at one of the services? And I said, sure. So next year, hopefully, I'll come back and give a little presentation on diversity. But for now, this was such a wonderful opportunity to meet a nice group of people, a good-hearted group of people that I know you are. And so I thank you for this. And